Welcome back to the movie bracket with Keelan, Will, and Ben. I'm Keelan.
I'm Ben.
I'm Will.
And we have our last 6 matchups in our first round. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The last matchup.
If your favorite movie doesn't come up in these last
we don't want to hear
films,
it. It's just not a good movie.
It's not anywhere near the best movie of all time. It's not even good. Okay.
And we are definitive. We have definitive opinions.
Sorry,
You're not
that's
allowed
just
to
how
have
it
your own
is.
opinion.
This is the reason this is our show and not your show. Okay.
Yeah.
An algorithm about calculating what the best movie of all time is. We had some weights. There was 1 which was acting, 2 which was atmosphere, 3 which was directing, and the machine knows all 3, and it found the best movie of all time.
Got too real.
Yeah, I just zoomed in on my face for that.
Nice. Let's get started with the first matchup, which is gonna.
Let's go, Keelan.
I'm gonna cry. This is the one I told you about, Ben. Synecdoche, New York versus Singing in the Rain. Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Ben, you
Philip
start.
Seymour Hoffman was in The Big Lebowski. I didn't know that, but I watched it recently.
What the hell is this?
He's in
Why
it.
would you say that?
He's in Synecdoche, New York.
I mean, I guess
He's in it. He's also in Singing in the Rain.
yeah, he is. Dude, for some
All
reason
right.
when you said Philip Seymour Hoffman, for some reason thought you said Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
3 names, same dude.
I have a special connection to Singing in the Rain because it features Don Lockwood, the greatest cinematic character in not even film history, in history.
In digital file
digital
history,
file
am
history.
I right?
Literary history.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know if I was tasked with beginning, but I'm doing it.
Sure.
I like Singing in the Rain more than Synecdoche, New York. I think Singing in the Rain is a delight like Synecdoche, New York.
It's not.
And I don't know. I just clicked with it more. I Synecdoche, New York, sometimes the thing that I think both Keelan and I found about it that made it not a 5-star-y kind of thing is that it's very Charlie Kaufman-y, and I think the best Charlie Kaufmans are like Eternal Sunshine and all those, which is not in this list, where it's kind of put through the lens of another director. But I found this kind of to be an overload of like, oh my god, this is so depressing, but it's also twisted through some metaphor and surreal kind of stuff, and it just didn't entirely work for me. I still like it a lot, but I prefer Singing in the Rain.
Ben?
This one's weird because it's literally like name 2 movies that are more opposite each other.
Yeah.
Because on one hand you have one of like probably the best musical to come out of that classic Golden Age Hollywood era. It's just such a delight to watch. Everything about it is just like so good. It's like the definition of a warm movie. Like everything about it just screams warmth and sunshine. Like it's just one of those kind of movies. And then on the other hand, you have probably the most devastating movie I've ever seen, where it's just like, just when you can't think it can get any more sad, it does, and somehow it just continues to get sadder and sadder and sadder until it literally like rips humanity from you. Like it's just so crushing in every sense of the word. And I don't know, because this one's actually tougher for me than I thought it'd be. So I think I'll leave it there and I'll let Keelan talk, and then maybe I'll come back to it.
Singing in the Rain was my second favorite film of all time for a very long stretch. I haven't reassessed where it would be. I think that it's the best musical ever written. The songs, best songs in musicals. The choreography is incredible. I think Synecdoche, New York is genius. I'm going to vote for Synecdoche, New York, which I think is shocking.
No
even
way.
to myself.
No
but
way.
Just rewatching like the analysis of it the other week, I love Singing in the Rain, and I think if this was going up against any other film right now, especially in my life, I would put it through. But just rewatching all that and looking at the way, like, something that I don't know if y'all noticed is during that opening section when he's in the kitchen, the clock changes, like, the minutes every shot.
Wow,
So it keeps getting further. Every time he looks back down at the paper, it's like a month later. And then, like, suddenly in the background there's Halloween decorations, even though the first shot was in July. And, like, the idea is that whole scene, which just establishes one scene, like, establishes one of the themes of the film of, like, time slipping through your fingers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so subtle that I don't think Charlie Kaufman, like, wants you to notice all of it. That's not the point. It becomes subconscious. And I just think that's better filmmaking. Like, as much as I love Singing in the Rain and as much as it's a delight, I have to tip my hat to, like, that's just genius directing. That's just incredible directing, and that's really thoughtful. So I'm going to have to give it to that.
Wow, I'm really surprised you said that. I'm going to go with Synecdoche, New York.
Yeah, fair enough.
I agree with everything you said, Keelan. It's just so subtly brilliant in so many ways.
And I think Singing in the Rain is incredible. You cannot call it subtle, though it's not trying to be.
Yeah.
I think there are perhaps other musicals that handle certain themes of Singing in the Rain better. I think there are certain musicals that have better sequences than Singing in the Rain. I think overall Singing in the Rain is the best musical, but I don't think any film does what Synecdoche, New York tries to do in any way better or even near it. So
it's very ambitious.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna go with that.
Oh yeah, it's a mind-blowing movie.
Yeah. Man. Okay.
What a movie. I gotta rewatch that. Holy crap. But, like, I don't want to because...
the YM... Like, the best way to rewatch it, I think, is watching that analysis by Your Movie Sucks. It's so good. It's so interesting. Like, you should watch.
Okay.
All right. Next up. Bit more light-hearted. Sherlock Jr. versus The Fellowship of the Ring.
I haven't seen The Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay, Will, why don't you start us off on this one?
Okay. Like you were saying with Singing in the Rain. No, actually, not entirely like that, but Sherlock Jr. is very good. It's very innovative. It's very, like, creative. I think that's the right word for it, because it has so many, like, non-stop amazing gags and creative, like, playing with visuals and, like, shot composition and stuff. I haven't seen in any of the other Buster Keaton movies. I don't think so, at least.
Neither
but it really floored me in that way. It's so fun. It's such a joy. But I think Fellowship of the Ring is amazing, and it's probably the best of the 3 Lord of the Rings movies. I haven't seen the other 2 in a long time. I'm planning on getting through them in this extended period of nothing else to do. But I watched the Fellowship of the Ring a couple of months ago. It's so good, and it's so amazing how it translates all of the, like, depth and detail of that world from the page to the screen, and it doesn't feel like it's diluted or losing anything. It's just like it's the, like, fantasy epic film, and I think it's, like, near perfect. I can't put anything above it. Actually, I can, but I can't put this above it.
Ben, you have to vote for Sherlock Jr., yes?
Yeah, and I'm sure Fellowship of the Ring is everything you say it is, Will, because I trust your opinion. But yeah, I think Sherlock Jr. is incredibly innovative comedy, obviously. Like, that entire sequence of him going into the movie is just, like, it's brilliant. Like, it's so funny and so impressive. And I feel like you can say that about the entire movie, honestly. Buster Keaton's performance is obviously fantastic. It's just so good. Like, it's so good.
But Lord of the Rings is so good.
I wish I could. I want to have an opinion on it, but I can't.
Will, you're gonna hate me.
I think you can. No, but name one. Like,
No.
Why? Well, explain to me why it's a better movie. Explain
Because
to me
Sherlock
why.
Jr. is like my 5th favorite movie of all time. It's so
But
tight.
why is it a better movie?
It's so tight. It's so concise.
Concise.
It's incredibly influential. Hell, Fellowship of the Ring literally stole visual effects that Sherlock Jr. made up. Like, double exposures had never been used for narrative storytelling like that before. Like, Sherlock Jr. invented using visual effects.
Fellowship of the Ring wouldn't happen
but I'll counter
without
you with
Sherlock
something.
Jr.
Go ahead.
Who cares?
Like, I love Fellowship of the Ring. You know me, I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. I've read the Hobbit books. I've read like the first 2 Lord of the Rings books. I think they're great. I think that movie is spectacular. It's the best one of the franchise. Sherlock Jr. innovated all of that.
Yeah.
I have to give it to it. I just think it's a better movie. I just think it's better.
But why? Why is it better?
just
Other
said
than
why.
the fact that it made these stuff. Like,
Okay, it made this stuff. It's also okay. I think that it's tighter in its use of visual effects.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lord of the Rings can get up its own ass sometimes a little bit, as you put it earlier. I think that
I disagree.
Really?
I think you can't say Lord of the Rings is not as good because it's not tight. Because it's...
No, I know
like,
it needs to branch out. I know it needs to take the long time. It's an epic, and I agree it needs the
Yeah.
scale and scope. But sometimes I don't need to see something in slow motion for that long, I think. I just think that sometimes it's... Because I think Tolkien wrote a really tight series, and then he went out and expanded it later. But the books themselves are just really crisp and like really interesting because there's so much packed in there. But that it's constantly go, 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 go. And Peter Jackson really eloquently translated that to film, but I think at times his style was to make it more epic. And I
don't
think Peter
think
Jackson
so.
does that well, but I think he also, to a certain extent, tried a little bit too hard with some things. That's just...
Those movies are... You said you've watched the extended versions, right?
Yes, I've never seen... To be fair, I've never
Yeah.
seen the theatrical cuts.
Because watching the theatrical cut, it is not... It's not slow at all. It
No, I
covers
know.
a lot of ground in 3 hours. I didn't go to the bathroom once.
Well
Whoa.
done.
Well, that's impressive. That's a feat.
See, like,
for Will.
I know, and I agree, and even in the extended version, it is very tight, though I recognize the certain scenes they added back in, and I can't speak to the shots or whatever they added. That makes it tough for me, because that's one element I don't like about those films, is that they're a little too long, in my opinion. I just
The
think...
extended editions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just think that Sherlock Jr. takes all the same... If we're looking at them as in terms of their different tropes, I think the cinematography is equally as impressive, if not more so, in Sherlock Jr. I think the performances are equally as impressive, if not more so, in Sherlock Jr., because Buster Keaton is one of the most gifted actors of all time. I think that
You heard
the
it here
direction
first.
is equally as impressive in both, because Sherlock Jr. again invented a lot of these techniques that that Fellowship uses, and I just enjoy Sherlock Jr. more. So when you balance all those technical elements out, and I just find more enjoyment, and I like it more. I just do. I'm
Okay.
sorry,
I know I'm not gonna change your mind, but
but you
I
think,
think-
I'm wrong.
I think Sherlock Jr., even though it has all of these things and it's like it created so much, Lord of the Rings has like so much more depth to all of it, and it, like the performances and the direction, the cinematography and the script. I mean, obviously Sherlock Jr. isn't going to have as complex a script, but like I think Lord of the Rings is just so much deeper and it has so much more to it underneath the
Yeah.
surface.
I agree on that element, but also again you have to look at the context of it, because you can't just compare it as if it was made now. If it was made now, sure, because they have the opportunity to do that. But at the time, they literally pushed beyond what they could do by so far that you can't expect them to also have that. Like, you can't look at it in a vacuum.
Okay, but you also can't let the lack of a vacuum be the thing that
I'm
makes
not.
it better.
The main thing I'm just saying is that I find it more enjoyable. I enjoy watching it more. And if I like the film more, and I look at all the technical elements and I see them as kind of basically the same, because I see a lot of the technical elements of both films in their respective time periods as equally impressive. I
disagree. I
Okay.
disagree because you have to also take The Lord of the Rings in context of being made in like the early 2000s when everything looked terrible, but everything in that movie looks amazing.
Yeah, but that's because they did most of it practically, which is really impressive.
No, well, not everything. Not the big fire.
Not the big fire demon, but
Beast.
it's easy to make a big fire demon look good because it's not supposed to look realistic.
Oh yeah, you
You know, you're
try.
not- But you're not trying to make that look like a thing, you know? Sherlock Jr. was able
Well,
to do...
you are.
But Sherlock
It
Jr.
does look like a thing.
Sherlock Jr. pulled off him stepping into a movie and then I don't know how they did
He pulled off him stepping out of his own body and becoming two bodies on the same screen, doing different actions, and then going back into his own body, and then going into a movie screen.
With the movie screen one, I legitimately don't know how they did it because masking at the time was so impossible. They innovated how to use a camera for that movie. Like, they changed the very mechanics of how you filmed at the time to make that.
And we didn't even talk about the stunts. The stunts are also incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
Like, the entire motorcycle chase scenes where he's literally like, I feel like there's a scene where he literally like drops from a wire onto a pendulum of some sorts, which catapults something in the air, and they did that all practically because obviously there's no other.
There's the trickery with the reversed footage with the train sequence and stuff like that. Like, it's all so impressive and it's also well thought out. And I could say the same for Lord of the Rings with their forced perspective or their mocap innovations and that kind of thing. Like, there's a lot in Lord of the Rings to be said for innovation as well. I think that they're about equal in their influence on film. I just enjoy Sherlock Jr. more, and that's what it comes down to for me. Because for everything you say about Lord of the Rings, I could say that Sherlock Jr. did the same in its time. I just enjoy it more. And that's it.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're wrong, but okay.
I'm wrong for enjoying something more.
No,
I'm not saying,
you
I'm not
shouldn't be
saying you're
enjoying
wrong.
it. I think Sherlock Jr. is terrible, and I hate it now.
The next matchup is Taxi Driver versus Inception. Taxi Driver.
Yes.
Can I tell you something? I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. Gosh, it's so ubiquitous. No, ambiguous.
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 It's so
I
fluid.
honestly, like, I don't strongly love either of these two movies. Like, strongly love. Like, 5 stars. I think they're both 4.5 stars. So I don't really want to. I don't really want to passionately talk about one over the other. But I just think Taxi Driver's a better movie.
Yeah, it probably is.
All right, unanimous. Taxi Driver moves on. All right, next up, I think this one's also fairly evident. Isle of Dogs versus Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
Can we send Empire Strikes Back through?
Yes, we can.
Yes, thank you.
We can.
Isle of Dogs is not that good.
It's not that good. No,
It's not. It's
good.
not Star Wars.
It's not-
Empire Strikes. It's not
not
Empire
Star
Strikes
Wars.
Back. Good. No.
Yeah. All right, so that one's fast.
Yeah.
This one's gonna hurt, but it's the Band-Aid we have to rip off. Portrait of a Lady on Fire versus Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I haven't seen Portrait, but I love Guardians too.
Guardians the 2
Ben,
has one
convince
vote.
me.
I have
Convince me.
He's not even gonna try to convince you. He knows Portrait's better.
Keelan, it is better.
I know, but still.
I know.
Will you put
Guardians of the
Portrait
Galaxy
through?
2 has dumb moments.
Will's 1,000% putting Portrait through. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm the original fan.
Will is a Portrait stan, bro.
I was
See-
the first person to ever watch it. Also, I'd like to say, please, no, I'm not.
I'd like to say, please, no.
Yeah, alright, Portrait,
I think-
but I'm mad.
Yeah.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy 2 transcends superhero filmmaking. It's the best superhero film in recent memory.
I
not
disagree.
like counting the it's the best like popcorny superhero film. Like there's like
disagree.
the Dark Knight and Logan and shit like that. But like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 has more thematic interest than anything that I
disagree.
Marvel's
No.
ever put out. But okay.
Mission Impossible
disagree.
Fallout was better than Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Hey, shut up, man.
I don't think it's
Go
the
to
best.
hell if
I
you
don't
don't
think it's the
agree
best.
with me.
I don't think it's the best Marvel movie, but okay.
That's fair. That's fair. Anyways,
Captain
I respect
America,
it.
The
Doesn't
Winter
matter.
Soldier is the best Marvel movie because it should have. The
Because he kicks
cinematography
people.
was based on the novel 50 Shades of Grey.
What? You cut out so hard there.
cut out so hard.
I just heard,
I said the okay, I'm gonna repeat that
Said
because
the
I think it was
cinematography
good.
based on the novel.
by
I said the cinematography was based on the novel 50 Shades of Grey.
What?
Get it?
No.
Did you hear me?
Because it's
I
gray.
get it. I don't like it.
Because it's gray. It's a
Because
lot of
it's
different gray. Okay,
gray.
I'll stop.
Anyways, final matchup.
Jesus.
Cool. All right. Chef
Well, I know what I'm voting for.
versus Doctor Strangelove.
Oh my
I thought you were
god.
Chef versus Doctor
No,
Strange.
I'm sorry. This
That's
one
such
hurts.
a
This one
that's
hurts.
such a grade 11 matchup. Chef versus Doctor Strange, the best movies of all time.
This one hurts because I really like. I love Chef so much.
But Doctor Strange.
But
come
Doctor
on.
Strange,
So Doctor
man.
Strange.
Doctor Strange is the best. Doctor Strange is art house independent film. Okay.
Doctor Strange
German
Love
expressionism.
is like the best satirical film ever. It's
Yeah.
it's so good.
I don't think it's a perfect movie. I watched it very recently.
But
That's
Chef
my
is
catchphrase.
certainly
I
not.
watched it very recently.
Chef is you can't compare. You can't say Chef in the same sentence as Doctor Strange.
Yeah, there's no use talking about why
Yeah.
Doctor Strangelove is
No,
good because we'll
it's-
be able to do it next round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's kind of been the last 4 rounds. We've just blitzed through.
Yeah, I mean they were
Yeah.
pretty easy.
Taxi Driver, Star Wars 5, Portrait of Lady on Fire, Doctor Strangelove, all like Master Pie.
Master Pie.
Why couldn't Mission
Master
Impossible
Pizza.
have gone up against Chef?
That would have been
I
fun.
would have voted for Chef.
I still would have voted for
Oh,
Chef.
shut up.
I would have voted for Chef too.
You're gonna have a hard time with us.
That would have been
alright.
heartbreaking.
It would have been. All right, thank you for watching this first round. We'll be back with more movie debating very, very soon. I'm Keelan.
I'm Ben.
I'm Will, and I just want to clear up and finish the. So there are no new movies after this. This is it, right?
Yeah. So now we're gonna continue to whittle down. Should I read some of the new matchups?
I
Read
say
the first 3.
Read the first three. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just finishing sending some.
We're
some
on to the
things
round
through
of
here.
16, people.
B.
No,
B.
wait. Round of 32, people.
No, 16 matchups.
Round
yeah.
16
16
matchups.
matchups, 32
You were
movies,
right both
baby.
times,
I was
yeah.
right both
Exactly.
times.
So, are you sure I can't just... There's not many here. Oh, no, I'll just read the first few.
Just
All
read
right.
the first few.
So, the first few that we're going to be talking about next episode are Finding Nemo versus Sing Street,
Ooh.
Oh, that's weird.
The Wolf of Wall Street versus Hot Fuzz.
Whoa.
I'm going to do 4.
Okay.
Spirited Away versus The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Whoa.
And The Dark Knight versus Blade Runner.
Whoa.
So, we have some clashes of some titans. We're going to have some interesting debates. Thank you very much for watching. Please follow us on Spotify and on iTunes and all that good stuff. Hit that notification button. And subscribe to the Keith Loves Movies YouTube channel and to the follow the site. Someone's calling Ben now. But it's okay. We're wrapping up. We're going to see you guys next time. Bye for now. Bye.